Good morning,
Morning.
fellas.
Yo,
How's it going?
Fantastic, brother. How
pretty
are you
good.
doing?
Good, mate. Ready
Project
for
Vida Rica, baby.
Sunday today. Usually it's on a Saturday, but look, here
We
we
had a
go.
big day yesterday, didn't we?
We're busy men. We're very busy men.
Big day.
We're
Do you want a
very,
little
very busy men.
maybe give a bit of insight into what you actually achieved yesterday? I'd say
50 fat ones. 50 fat ones, baby.
50 big uns, mate. 50-mile run.
I was
We're
going to say
feeling good.
it's
Just,
on
just,
50.
just to clarify.
Mate, like
Could have been
that,
50 donuts. Could have been.
that could have been
I think, to be
anything.
honest, I think
That could have
50
been anything.
donuts also got smashed in throughout the day, so it's
Mate,
that as well.
we just filled up on chocolate all day, so I do feel a bit sick today. I feel like it was
Yeah,
you're just eating loads of chocolate and shit, and mate.
literally, just my diet yesterday was like dreadful.
Yeah,
But like,
not
what
good.
can you do? Like, I can't eat like a bag of rice halfway through a run.
We
Like,
could have had more bananas on it.
I know. The thing is, right, we bought loads of food
What
for
you been doing, mate? Chucking through bananas.
you should have. I bought loads of food to keep at man, but we didn't really pass the houses like we planned. We just stayed out
Got in the zone, bro.
because we thought, I don't know, we're just in a weird place. Like, we just didn't want to come back near a house because we thought we'd stop.
You thought you'd stop, yeah.
I was just thinking then, mate, because we was going to touch on drinking and drinking in general. How often do we drink? I actually drank last night, mate.
Did you?
I got in last night and then Nicole was like, "We'll share a glass of wine," and I was exhausted. I had one glass of wine, it went straight to my head, and I started getting weird, mate.
To be honest, I said to Dan, was that about what was we done? About 55k. I went, I think I'm going to go to a pub tonight. Do you fancy it?
I don't think
Then he was like, I don't
Christ.
think you'll be up for that, mate. I was like, yeah, I will. I'll just get one, like a celebratory drink, but then finish. And I was like, fuck that. Absolutely no way.
At what stage for yourselves would you say you was like, all right, like, I'm ready to quit?
Honestly, between 50 and 55, I started crying, mate. Like,
yeah, he started crying. Don't really know why.
Ollie said something really funny though, like, because because I just lost it, and like we had a little walk and something to eat. Then we both around the girls, and I was like, Nicole was like, "Oh, come on, you can do it." And then you're like I thought I'm gonna fucking start crying. Mate. Came off the phone, and I like bent down, did I? Ollie was looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I started crying. I was going, I just feel like I'm getting old, bro. I don't know if I can do this.
He's like, I just don't like getting old.
Ollie went, "Dan, you just ran 50k, no matter how old you are, you're going to feel like this."
I think he thought he was meant to feel like real fresh. I was like, mate, like, you're going to be fucked no matter what at this point.
I had a bit of a mental battle there, mate.
Honestly, I think I'd say I think that 60 to 65k just dragged. Yeah. I think at that point,
my watch was broke. I was going, "It's fucking not working."
At that point, I think we was both thinking like, God, like, can we actually do this? Like,
you know what I'm like? You know what I started getting like real angry about now? And I did the same thing the other man. I started looking at the watch and going, "It's broke. It's not even working." Like, we were just like, "Come on, let's keep going."
It was just dragging, wasn't it? That.
I had a look at your driver and stuff like that. You went all the way up to Heading as well, didn't you? So was it all flat, majority of it then, didn't you? You didn't tackle any hills, did you?
To be honest, we
waited until the second half. I don't know. Down loads of hills.
I don't know
why.
Weird, but the thing is, we said we don't like running towards Heading. I don't like the look of the route. There ain't much to look at. Do you know what I mean?
It's a bit of like a depressing route if I'm going to be honest.
I said to Ollie, I think went down a certain street. And I said, "This is one of my least favourite roads in all this. There's something about it, it's just not nice. It's not a nice place, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, fuck it, it's depressing over here. Everything's derelict and all that, you know what I mean? No offence."
Yeah. So our thought was like, do the nice, like the usual run I'll do is like going the other way.
Yeah.
Like towards like, we're going like west towards like Brough and all that.
It's like a nicer route, but
like,
the route like 4 hill climbs.
Yeah, like loads of hills, like steep hills. So we ended up just walking up them, didn't we? Just because we thought we were going to be burnt out running up hills like that. So that was the time to like walk.
Did the usual trick where because it was too windy to go across the bridge. So that
it was windy
and that would have been
fuck.
finished. When we got back to like our area, we then had to do our usual trick and just start running laps. You know what I mean? Like, because we couldn't get across it. It was too windy to go across the bridge. And like last night, there was like a fucking storm, wasn't there? So I was quite lucky we swerved.
I was going to say, this morning over here, like, it's ridiculously bad, like. So, look, that was a little bit of an insight into
business.
What was done yesterday. Anyway, like, I'm feeling a bit lazy, that's for sure. So anyway, look, we're going to be speaking about some like drinking and like what we think about it and our opinions just on the full topic of drinking, because I think it's a good topic to talk about. Like, we're not big drinkers ourselves, but we do enjoy it every now and again, and I think it's a nice little topic to see like everybody's insight into what people think about it. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like over the years as well, you gradually do it less and less because not only you're busier, but you don't need it as much, do you? You know what I mean? Like when you're younger, for example, it is just part of your life. You just get steamed every week, don't you?
I think it's more like you say, when you do it when you're younger, is more due to like it being like a social situation. Like you go out to socialise, you're going to pubs to socialise, you're going to clubs.
Don't really need to, when you're younger, you don't even need to text your mates or out. You know you're all going to be going to pub on Saturday. Like it's just a given, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I think that's just like. That's just, I don't know, that's just how it is. I don't know why it is like that, but it just is, isn't it? Like,
it's British culture though, isn't it, man?
Yeah,
like, it's British culture.
Is.
If you look at, just in general, not even when you're young, because most people just do that throughout their life. It's like, finish work, get some beers.
I mean, when you look back,
when
you're 18, 19, whatever, like, you've got no responsibility at all. Like,
yeah, you get
what
else?
What else are you going to do? Like, it's just part of it, isn't it? You've got to it's one of the things you've got to do it, haven't you? Then,
get it out your system.
Now I'm just not that arsed about it. I've got, like you say, you've got it out your system, haven't you? Like,
I think at the end of the day as well, like, it's with us maybe like you end up working away for so long, and then kind of coming back on the weekends, and say for example, if you did go out on like a Saturday and you did maybe take it too far, then all of a sudden like you've kind of ruined your weekend when you haven't got much time at home as it is. You haven't got much time.
I think that's what a big part of it is for us. Because
I think as you get older, you start valuing your time a little bit more, and you start thinking like,
definitely.
I want to make more of the weekend instead of just
Especially when you got your girlfriend, like when you're single. I mean, even towards the end of the last time I was single with, like, I started like knocking it on the head anyway. But especially when you're single, you've got now to lose. Where especially when you've got a partner, you want to make sure you can have some quality time with them on the weekend. You're not going to be like lie there hungover all day on the Sunday, are you? Like it's just not it's not making much value of your time, is it?
I just end up fuming, like, especially because you've been away all week. If I get steaming I think definitely if it's on the Saturday, I think it's worse. Like if you end up going out on the Friday, I don't think it's as bad because you have a little bit of a weekend. But if you go out on a Saturday,
I love Saturday mornings to me. Like it's out better than the fresh Saturday mornings.
It's like either way, it's annoying.
Honestly,
you just ruin your weekend,
Like I just feel like you don't achieve much as well, and like I think a good point is to like highlight on this. I think Ollie knows it more, like, but like when you drink alcohol, like it can affect your training, it can affect your diet, it can affect everything.
And I think there's enough effects on like the Wednesday. I mean, maybe not for you, but me personally, when if I go out on a mad one on a Saturday, it's like a Saturday. This I'm talking like a couple of years ago. It's a Saturday night into a Sunday, way too far. Sunday you're dying, and then Monday, Tuesday you're recovering. It's not until Wednesday you kind of like you're coming back.
You're not very alert.
Think how much time you've just wasted there, and how much as well. Like your mindset's so fucking different, man. Like when you're having a heavy weekend like that, you're like a different person. Then you snap out of it, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember. Like, and then you're alright again. You know what I mean? Like everything's like. You know what I mean? Things seem a lot worse when you're fucking half asleep and you're hungover or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You start stressing about stuff that you won't be stressing over, don't you?
Yeah, it's a big one. Like I think we've kind of slowly changing into swapping the beers for the coffee. Realistically, and it is more.
Yeah, man. I love coffee.
I get excited more for getting up in the morning, having my coffee, starting my day, and seeing what's things.
Feels like
really
you feel like boring, don't you? But the thing is, like, it's just like, doesn't align with my current goals. Getting pissed.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean, like the 50-mile run. I'm not going to get pissed the weekends leading up to doing that. Like,
yeah, like you're trying to like achieve.
Just going to mess you up, innit? Like,
I think as well, like every now and then you might have a, you know what I mean, like occasions where you might have a really good night out and it's wet. It's kind of wet.
Yeah, like I'm not
Do you know
saying
what I mean?
I'd never drink again.
I'll never not
Like
drink, but I think
I'll
right
still
now
go
there's
out with the
definitely
lads every
tough.
now and then, like for occasions.
Yeah.
Like it was his Dan's 30th, wasn't it? Like I had a drink
Well, do you
then.
know that night I got
Like
absolutely wasted, mate. Like, and I had a good time. Do you know what I mean? Because I just thought it was my birthday. I don't really give a
I
fuck.
think
Do
it's
you know what I mean?
more
You
just
gotta go.
about for me because like I like hitting my fitness goals and that. It's like a rare occasion. So like
It's like
once
to me,
a month or once every 2 months, maybe
it's
have
not. I'm
a
not being
drink
I'm not
or
being a tight bastard, but you know sometimes you think like there's stuff you want to do like financial goals you've got and stuff you're working towards and shit like that. You go out and you have like a bang average night and you think, oh my god, I've spent 150 quid, 200 quid, and
yeah.
you're like, why did I do that? I could have just.
That's
And
the
it's
I
big
would
just
have,
thing for
like
us. Like,
yeah.
especially with like when you've been away a week and then you get back with your partner. I can have a good time with her no matter what we do. I don't need to be pissed. I don't need to be spunking money in a bar to mean have a good time. So then it's like, why are you doing that? Do you know what I mean? Like, better off like, I'd rather have a nice meal, well rested, and have an even better day the next day. That is much more fulfilling than just
I
going
think
out
it's
and
more
spunking
for
all
like
your money.
when you try to get all the lads together. Like it's hard to decide what to do if you're not going to
Yeah,
pub in it.
I know.
But
Definitely, mate.
like I've been going to on a Sunday. We just go and watch a footy on a Sunday sometimes now, and like that's
I want
good
to go
because
fucking go karting.
you still get to see all the lads. But I might not even drink, but I might have just one on like
yeah,
like a Guinness on a Sunday
I
afternoon.
do like one
See the
Guinness
lads
on a
for a
Sunday,
couple
mate.
of hours, and it's good. Do you know what I mean? And you
that's
ain't
what I
got
mean.
that.
Yeah, you can
You're not
still
spending a
like,
load of money. You're not getting absolutely wrecked, like, and just
yeah,
ruining you fucking how you gonna feel the next day and that.
you can still like do things and can still do everything without it needing to be revolved around like drinking. Like I think, like you said before, like with it being such a culture thing to go to pub and to drink, a lot of lads like kind of in their heads are thinking, well, if I don't go to pub and drink, like how the fuck am I going to socialise? Like there's plenty
Yeah,
of
yeah,
things you
yeah.
can do. There's like
Mate,
things you
literally,
can pick up, like, and it
mini
doesn't even have to
golf,
be.
go karting.
Yes, I love mini golf, mate.
I actually love it. I love
Bit
it,
of
mate.
crazy golf, mate.
No, but like you could do something like that. Like if you actually all went to do something like that, it'd be piss funny, wouldn't it? Because it's just daft, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I was like, I don't know, like I felt we hadn't done it for a while, but do you know when you said just go to like Snowdon or something, or like
Yeah, man.
I
yeah.
don't know, just go for some mad hike somewhere. Like I love
I love
shit
shit
like
like
that.
that trail run we all did that time was
And you have a
absolutely
proper
sick.
laugh, don't you? Do you know, it's like look, all the lads doing something or whatever, like
Well, yeah, because
it's
as
a
well,
laugh,
like you
innit?
say, you've got all your senses there as well. You're not getting wrecked and like getting all
Yeah,
in a pickle. Like you're actually having,
you remember everything. It's more memories to
yeah,
that because you
like,
actually remember it
yeah,
clear as day. You know what I mean? Like you hammered that trail run. To be fair, didn't you, Rich? Do you remember? You was like proper on the ball when you were running there.
Yeah,
Like
you
yeah,
was peak fitness, weren't you then?
that was good, man. That was a good day.
a long time
That
ago.
that that was a tough one. That wasn't it? To be fair,
Mm.
that was
Yeah,
snowing and
like stuff
shit.
like that. I was we had some friends round last night and stuff like that, and I was speaking to Giga and stuff about your run, what you did yesterday and stuff, and I said like, it makes me miss it all kind of a bit, like, and I was thinking like, oh fuck, like I want to try and get back running. But
Yeah.
like I'd say by the end of like next September, I should be in a position to like kind of like switch
Yeah.
back over to
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of
You've
sense.
got to, the
Like,
thing is, you've got to. We've always said you want to do it all. Do it. You've got to have the experience of like having your strength training and getting to that what your classes like visually your peak. You know what I mean? Like where you're
yeah,
like, this is the biggest and leanest I'm ever going to be type thing. You've got to
yeah,
tick
yeah.
that box once, get it done. But it's I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but if you want to focus on certain shit, it is hard to try and do everything at once. And you've got to pick
Yeah,
things.
like Jesus
So if you're going to
Christ,
take it
like
to the max in a certain bit, you've got to fucking
Yeah.
go in on that.
If I was to try and like do both at the same time, like if I
You'd end up
didn't have a job, if I
half-hearted
didn't
all of it, wouldn't you?
if
You know what I
if I
mean?
didn't have a job, if I didn't have things, and I could concentrate my full life on that, like yeah, but like it's not only that, like yeah, you most probably could manage it with a job, but I'd say like something's got to take a fucking like an effect, like
If
either
you
your
want to take it to the
relationship, your
next
job,
level in
like
somewhere, you've got to be prepared to do it.
somewhere has got to give. You can't
Yeah,
physically
yeah, yeah.
give 100%
Yeah.
to every single area. Like as well for us, like a big one is travel. Like how if I was to try and like somewhere's got to give. Like we're quite busy people, do you know what I mean? So for me personally, I couldn't do everything. So at the minute, like you have got to kind of like. Because you do end up wanting to do it all, like
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
sometimes
you've
think,
got to be
maybe start,
too harsh on yourself as well, man. Like I'm
yeah, like
bad for that. Like,
I want to
I
start
should have done
playing,
this. I should be lifting them, and it's like fucking hell, mate. fucking running long distance for like the last few months. Like strength's not going to be fucking at its optimal level, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like.
Because you end up like thinking, oh, I'll start playing football again. Oh, I'll start doing this again, and then you start thinking,
yeah,
look,
you want to do it all, though, yeah, and you can't. Like if I worked at home, I'd love to play footy with them on a Monday, but then you think like, if I did do that, then like when am I going to train legs? When am I going to go for a run?
Yeah, like it all starts taking effect. It's like you've got to like you can,
and especially because like I'm on my feet all day at work. Like my legs do actually take a while to recover now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so,
but no,
it's trying to fit it all in, isn't it?
Yeah, like for me, legs once a week now is plenty. Like a big leg day once a week is what how it's going to be.
Yeah,
we're trying to do.
I like just doing
runs.
a big leg day once, and then on like a Saturday, I've almost just started doing like a full body workout. I'll just hit like a little bit. If they're not like absolutely kill, if they're recovered, if I feel like they're all right, I'll just add a little bit of legs in there as well.
Yeah.
But
are you running going forward like next Sunday, for example?
I probably won't run again this year, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe I should do.
Like I'm just gonna have a bit of time off, then just start again. January.
Reece, bit off topic, but I've just remembered something. Right, the other day was in the saunas at Village. We did the 20-minute in the sauna, and then some fucking hippie bloke that was in there, some fucking Zen dude was like, "Oh yeah, you should go outside, or sometimes I lie on the grass, you know, a bit like a plunge pool type scenario where it's cold." The grass was all frosty, so we did 20 minutes in the sauna, then went outside and lied in the frosty grass, mate.
It was honestly, it was absolutely
we lied on the grass for like 2 minutes. At Village, went out the back door to the garden bit, right, and then me and him was both lied down on the frost. Like,
it was freezing as well. It must have been like 1 degree, wasn't it? Something.
Everyone
felt absolutely
deranged.
I did that recovery thing, and then when they were saying about the recovery, they were saying the whole point of it was to do 10 minutes in the ice bath and then do your sauna after, and then you shouldn't be doing in and out intervals. But look, like everybody's got like I don't know what to really believe.
You hear so many different things. People go 10 minutes. I
need to look into it a bit more to.
I mean, I don't really know what to believe, do you? But I've heard a lot of people say you should always finish. Always finish in the cold, never finish in the warm. But I mean, I don't know how true that even is. I ain't really looked into it that much, to be honest.
There's too many crackpots on Instagram these days, mate, just talking absolute baloney to try and get the name out there. And people are lapping it up, mate, like it's mental.
Yeah, you don't know what to believe and what.
Do you not think
because there's that many of them. Like,
there's always
you've got
to be careful. Like, I'd always recommend doing like a bit of research into each. Like when somebody says something, I always like to kind of like back it up with something. I think as well, like if you was gonna, whilst we're going up, I don't know where we're going on this tangent. It's supposed to be about drinking, but we've gone into something totally different. But I'd say if you had to like pick a couple of people like on like the podcast scenario, for example, Andrew Huberman. I don't know if you both watch him, but like hands down, if there's anything specifically what's been kind of said, like I'm trying to look into something, like I've got 100% trust in what he says. Sometimes he always backs it with research and he tests the majority of it on himself.
He was banging on about all that Tonka Ali and all that. Have you heard about all that stuff? Haven't you? The natural steroids type thing. You see, like I took a bit of them, didn't I, in the lead up to summer, and I didn't feel anything. I didn't actually get my test levels checked or anything like that. But like, if anything, I felt less like riled up. Like, you know, you're just going like, you know, sometimes when you're lifting heavy and you're eating all your steak and shit, like I can feel myself like I'm like, yeah, I feel good. You know what I mean? After taking steroids like years ago or whatever, and knowing what it's like to feel with elevating test levels, I can get a bit of that feeling just off heavy squats, eating my steak, that kind of shit. But when I took that, I didn't feel anything, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, I literally didn't feel anything. But he's big on it. He's big on that stuff. He really promotes it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's most probably, like you say, most probably will increase test levels and it give you that it will give you a small amount of that effect. but what you're in your head, what you're trying to think it's going to give you.
Comparing it to on juice,
you're comparing that that feeling, that sensation you get off juice, where it's like kind of
where
like
you feel like you can run through a wall type scenario.
Yeah, like your test levels on when you go on like test, for example, to double. So like you're not going to get double your test from
and then
these natural.
That's 24/7 as well, isn't it? You've not got naturally you're going to dip throughout the day and obviously time in the morning or whatever.
That is like a kind of like a double throughout the full 24 hours. Like you're not going to get that like.
That's the thing. Like for me, like when I was the last time I took it, it's like what you class as what some people like bodybuilders was classed as TRT in it. Like but it's still above average. But like, oh yeah, it's like it's in a natural range. But you've got that 24/7. Like it's like you're not you're not going to come in and out of it. You've just got elevated throughout the day, pretty much, haven't you? I mean, obviously, like we're going off on a fucking tangent here, aren't we? But like if you take an injection on a Monday, it might be dipping a bit towards the end, but overall, it's going to be your baseline is a lot higher than
We will.
Anyway, I'm not a doctor.
Going back
like
into a bit.
Compared to most people, I've heard no fuck all. I'm only going to ever say what I feel when I've done it, and I know. I'll just say it like that. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to be like.
Just say what you feel, mate.
Like I'm saying, like.
Just tell us how you feel.
Just to get something out there, Dan. Let it all out, mate. Let it all out.
He's an emotional wreck today, isn't he? Like, don't start crying again, man.
We've tried to go into so many topics here, and we've tried to speak, and I can feel like Dan's just got something inside of it. I feel like we should leave this podcast to Dan today, because he's got that much inside of him right now.
Those two just start right in the head today. Like, I just don't feel right, to be honest.
Right, to put his perspective right, I was crying for a total of about 3 hours yesterday, mate. I was crying a lot, mate.
Yeah, I was actually crying. Like, I feel like I never cry. Like, I think Leah actually said to me, she was like, "I've never seen you cry like this before." Like,
when I seen you cry, I knew we took it far.
Yeah,
when we finished,
I knew.
I went, "It's fucking hard, that, wasn't it?" And he was like, "Yeah, mate, fucking." Like, oh man, it was so funny.
Oh my god,
funny.
So look, like,
I'd rather be hungover today than feel like I do now. To be honest,
mate, I've got a limp. I've got a full-on limp.
But it's mad. Like going back to it a bit. Like, do you know when I was going for a run on a Sunday?
Yeah.
Like I think I might have mentioned it before on a podcast, right? But whenever I've drank the night before, like say if I've drank on a Saturday and I run the Sunday, I'm always quicker.
It's because you don't know what's going on, though, isn't it?
Like, what is all that about?
Your body's empty. You're probably light as fuck. Like,
I don't know something to do with like you're not. I don't. It's like maybe you're a bit more numb to the pain, and you're not really like you're not thinking clearly, so you're not like pacing yourself when you usually would. You're just running as fast as you can. Like
when me and Reese lived together, I used to like have a big night, let's call it, and I'd feel kind of guilty the next day, so I'd just have a bottle of water, have a banana, and then go out running and do like 17, 18 mile, like fasted. And then like, I probably would have struggled up more if I'd have been at home eating. But then it's like, you feel bad, so you're pushing yourself further and you're just numb at it, you're just running and running and running.
Yeah.
He used to ring me and be like, "Mate, what's going on? Are you actually alive?" I'm like, "Yeah, mate, yeah, I'm on the way back now." Like, just fucking...
Like, it's not healthy to go about doing it that way. Like, there's
no.
I'm not
like, I wouldn't recommend it. I'm not saying if you want to get quicker running time to get pissed the night before. But
I was just trying to balance the books. You know what I mean?
Dan, as you can see from that story there, Dan seems to have fight a lot of demons every morning as he wakes up. So he gets up and goes, "Fuck that! I've got to do something about it." The voices start getting to him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to do something about this here now." So
I don't want to do.
Puts his running trainers on and goes and puts himself through some serious suffering for no actual reason.
This is this is again another tangent, but this is like. I mean, we should
Jesus Christ! I tell you what, lads. This podcast is not even gone anything. I don't even know where we're at now.
No, this is kind of.
I'm going to change it to Dan's tangents. Because we've gone into everything.
Don't be like that.
No, it's all right. Go for it, mate.
Mate, it's like I think as well. This is again a different topic, but I feel like drinking also leads to other shit. You know what I mean? Like, we should do another thing on that. We'll do another one on that because I think that's more going down like the mental health route and all that shit. So it's like, but it does, doesn't it? you make bad decisions when you drink. Do you know what I mean? So, but I mean, like really bad decisions, don't you? So it's like in the scheme of things, I think drinking is sound if you're doing it within reason for an occasion. But just getting pissed for no apparent reason is never going to be good, is it? Especially if you it's like anything though. If you drink because you're pissed off about something, it's going to be worse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then it's like you're going to be getting more angry, or you're going to be getting more stressed out. And then the next day, not good.
Yeah, it's not going to help anything, is it? Like,
I'll never go teetotal, mate. I'm just saying, like, I think right now we're all at a stage, aren't we, where you're happy just
it's
to
like
drink.
I've heard people say before, and you think that is like true. That where it's like, would you do something? Like, I don't know. Like, say these places you go and get pissed. Would you go there if you weren't pissed? Like, would you go and just would you go and sit there?
That's
like, I can think of like bars, you know, like in town or whatever.
If you were sober,
I think I would never go in there if I was sober because it's a fucking dump. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
fucking hell, mate.
It's like, why? Is it like? Do you know what I mean?
Fucking hell,
like,
you fucking snob.
So yeah. Which is like, he's not.
No, it is true.
Full
like,
of absolute wankers.
Like, it stinks in your feet.
You're surrounded by people that are just knobheads, mate. Like trying to start fights with you and that. You're like, why am I even? What you would never be here sober.
Yeah, no, true, man.
True. It's not
like you're almost drinking just to kind of like block it out when you're in these places, aren't you?
Block the shit
then you
all
think,
out of you.
Then you think, why do you do it? Like to yourself,
everyone's just brought up to do that, aren't they? It's just British culture, man. Like it's just what people do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, see, I've got my little brother. Like he's turning 17. He's turning 18 shortly now. Like,
of course, man.
And he's already started because he's working and stuff like that. He's starting to go to pub with lads from work and stuff like that. I don't think he's drinking. Maybe having one beer. I don't know if he can get one. But with him being 17, but I'm sure he can. But that's what I mean. I was saying the other day to my mum and stuff. I was thinking, I wonder what route he takes down. Do you know what I mean? For ourselves, we did go out, we did drink quite a lot. But with us working away and stuff, and we still did. But I think your Monday to Friday scenario, for example,
we always trained. You always had to. We was on about it earlier. We never drink midweek unless it's fucking some bizarre Christmas time or something like that. But even then, I have to force myself to do that. Because for me, midweek is it's gym. It's just
you're getting your head down.
Head down,
that's what I mean.
You know what I mean?
I think binge drinking, what you'd class it as for ourselves, is you was young. Do you know what I mean? You could do it back then. Do you know what I mean? It didn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? You didn't wake up feeling absolutely piece of shit. But now you wake up and feel like you've been hit by a bus. So it's a bit different. But
maybe it was fucking boring now, lads. Do you know what I mean?
I hate that. Oh yeah, you're boring.
That's a kind of a big one in it because people do. You still start thinking,
am I boring? It's hard.
You're not really, are you? Because
it's hard to not drink because you get in. As soon as you do, everyone's on you, aren't they?
Well, I'm boring because I don't get steaming and get on the packet every week. That's not. You're not boring, are you? You're going downhill, mate. If you keep living like that, it's not sustainable, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's not good.
No.
And like you say, it's not we're not just suddenly preaching drinking is really bad. I've been there, done it. I'll do it again.
If you want to drink,
I'm not saying I'm never going to drink again.
For it, but I'm not having a go at anyone for doing it.
All we're trying.
I'm just saying overall, I'm definitely don't drink as much as I used to because it fucks up my progress on everything.
For ourselves, he's kind of in the way. And if you, for example, are feeling forever in the situation where you feel boring or you're feeling like you're getting pressure, or whatever, just understand it's going to affect your goals. Everybody's got different goals in life. You know what I mean? Exactly. So if you're trying to achieve something and it's going to affect that goal, if you go out drinking that weekend, or it's going to affect your financial situation, it's going to affect something specifically.
You've got to weigh it up. You don't have to
do it. Do you know what I mean? You've got other goals in life and you're trying to achieve something. So don't ever get stressed out about thinking, I've got to go to pub, or I've got to do this. I think it's more definitely I think it's more for the younger generation. Do you know what I mean? If you're coming to 18, 20 or whatever, and you are going to go out all the time, but you have got them 18, 20-year-olds who have got the wanting to achieve a specific something. Don't feel pressured into have to go out.
Another level, mate. If we had the mindset we have now, back then, think of where you'd be now. Do you know what I mean? If you
at the same time,
from 18,
I don't have
19,
any regrets.
No, I don't. But at the same time, it would be nice to think of where you could be.
Yeah,
it'd be pretty crazy, wouldn't it?
It's I should have bought an house in like 10 years
When you
ago.
were 6. When you were 6.
I wish I got the first house. I was
It's
at
like
8 years old. Like,
people
I'd
who
be
tell you to
fucking
do that,
minted.
and you're like, shut up, mate. Like,
Yeah,
that
you don't.
needs
This
to
is
be
what
Yeah.
you don't listen. So
And
like,
now I realise
you can't
you
say
can't
I
force
wish.
someone.
Yeah, you can't say I wish I knew because you did actually get told this. And I chose to ignore it. Like
You was too.
I
No.
got told.
I was too busy running around Darley's in a fucking Batman costume. Do you know what I mean?
I remember,
Like,
do you know, I got my first ever like half decent car. I got the Audi A5. Right, I literally remember when I bought that. I think like mum or dad was or like whatever was like, oh, you should like why don't you get an house instead? Like that's a deposit for an
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
That. And I remember I was like, you can't drive an house, can
But
you?
then,
And
at the same time,
I literally thought like, what are they on about? Absolute
Yeah, I know,
idiots.
mate.
Like I'm
Mad, mate.
right. And, like now I think you absolute
If
idiot.
you'd
Like
have got an house then, you could have made that much money. You could have bought a better car than that outright, couldn't you?
I know.
If you'd have, but you don't.
But
Yeah.
you're not gonna listen. Like you would, even if you could go back and tell your past self, I bet you won't listen to yourself.
I
But you'd
went
still
back-
most
You'd
probably
be
wouldn't
like,
listen,
he's full of shit. I'm not
If I
listening
saw
to
my
this
past
fucking
self when I was
goat.
18, 19, I'd go to myself and strangle myself and start. I'd slap myself, mate. Like, what the fuck you doing, mate? Like, anyway, we've got a lot of topics, mate. We should
yeah.
discuss as far as like stupid shit when you're younger.
I think one for myself, what like I've got I'm planning in the new year anyway. I thought I'd ask yourselves it like, so would you ever plan on like quitting drinking for a long period of time?
I would more because we like challenging ourselves, don't we? I think not that it'd be that much trouble. I'd like to see what's it like to say 6 months nothing, just to try it out, not for any particular reason, but just as a challenge. Do you know what I mean? But then we've got an holiday coming up in like we're going to Rome in fucking February, whatever. Like I could go and not drink, but like what would be the point? Like I would like to enjoy a couple of pints and that. So it's like.
Yeah, so if you enjoy the situation.
I think I'm going to say to myself, I'm only going to drink for occasions, maybe, or something like that. And just not drink.
Or you could even say, like, I'd be more open to just saying, I won't get pissed for, like, 6 months or whatever. Like, you can have, like, I don't know, like a Guinness on a Sunday watching the footy, or if I go on holiday, just have, like, a bottle of wine to share with our meal. Yeah. Like, I think I could probably do that, but I don't know. For me, I think actually saying that I'm not going to drink a drop for 6 months, I could probably do it for 8 weeks. I might do it.
I don't even want to be in a situation where if you imagine you're all day though and you think, God, I love a pint, but then because you don't wear because you've said to yourself you're going to do something, you feel you can't do it. Then that'd be a bit pointless, wouldn't it? Because then you're not doing what you want to do to make you happy. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree in that sense. But it's just that I've been out a couple of times. Like, say, if we go out in Dublin, maybe not when you're away, because when you're away, like personally, especially if I'm away with like Jess and stuff like that, say if we're in a restaurant or something, I do enjoy like a bottle of wine with her or something.
Yeah, definitely.
I will say that would be a bit hard in that situation. But realistically, like a lot of time, I think I don't like need it. Don't enjoy it to the extent where I'm thinking I need it that much. And for me as well, like in a financial situation as well, with us traveling and with us going to a lot of places, like one of your biggest spendings is booze.
Yeah, it is.
And I was just thinking to myself, like, for 6 months, if you was to take it out of your life, for example, you can still travel, you can still do everything.
Are you debating on doing the full, like, a proper?
I'm going to go full cut. Like, I think personally, I'm going to try do a full 6 months cold turkey just to. Yeah. It's like kind of a bit of a New Year's resolution for myself. Like, I set out a lot of like goals over this year, for example, like, and. I achieved a couple of them. Like I think it's been.
You grew that tash, didn't you? That was on your number one, wasn't it?
Well, that just came across. But I think for me, this year I've ended up concentrating a lot on work, as in progression with work, with courses, like with a lot of like progression with work, and I've not like. Not that I've not done it. I feel like I could have done better in other areas. For example, like say for photography or for training or for specific things, and I feel like. I'd like to see if you was to like maybe quit drinking and kind of get into a bit of a mindset of like.
You would be more focused, definitely. Like, you can't deny.
I think to be fair, thinking when you're saying it now, like sort of like if one person's doing something, you feel like you want to do it as well, don't you? I think it sounds daft, but I would probably do. I would only drink on my holiday. You know what I mean? Like, and then just say to myself, I'm only going to drink then. And apart from that, I might swerve it.
Like
No,
this year,
we'll get back to you on that. We'll get back to you on that.
we've spent like this year, like to be fair, we've gone absolutely all out. Like we worked out, we visited like, some like 10 countries this year. Like,
yeah, mate.
I haven't really saved much this year. I've spent this year proper enjoying ourselves.
This year was like just a big like free for all, wasn't it? Like and I want to all just gone mad this year, haven't we? Like
I want to see if he was to maybe. And like I think if you was to quit drink, you're already putting yourself in that mindset of like that you're wanting to achieve something specific. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're really putting your like focus onto it. Do you know what I mean? So if I was to quit drink for 6 months and just kind of like concentrate, like set out a plan. Yeah, monk mode, literally like that.
Yeah.
And just set out a plan and spend 6 months of like kind of concentrate on specific things. What can you physically achieve by the end of that 6 months?
Me and all this said it was kind of, this year was like the party holiday year. Do you know what I mean? Like we've just been constant holidays, and don't want to have an amazing year, but then next year we want to knuckle down and have more like a financial.
Definitely get my head down next year.
You know what I mean? Like
before we rein it in a bit on the holidays.
And again, but like this is another one, a big one for myself. Well, I think we all will never do it anyway. Like, but when we say you're going to have a financial year, and when you say you're going to do all this, just remember, like, never to sacrifice everything. Do you know what I mean? There's always going to be. Because sometimes you can take it too far, where you're like,
you won't be happy. You won't be fulfilled doing that either.
You've got to have a good balance,
So you can maybe go through.
You've got to have a good balance, but just like prioritise certain.
If you set yourself goals, you've got to fucking knuckle down for the goals, haven't you? Because it's going to make you feel fucking class.
But as long as, like you say, if you did 6 months, for example, at least you know at the end of that 6 months, you're not saying you're saying at the end of that 6 months, then. You're still going to do things in between. You've got summer coming up. Like, for me, if I was to do 6 months, it's from January to June. Perfect, realistically, because you've got 3 months, January, February, March. We never do a lot, really, anyway. Yeah, again, like, a skiing trip could most probably pop up or something. But apart from that, from January to June, you're kind of leading up to the summer anyway. You've just come back from Christmas, like, say, for ourselves, we always travel somewhere, like... It's kind of a perfect scenario to like at least get 3 of the months of the 6 out of the way easier because you don't do a lot in it anyway. Yeah. So I thought, see how it turns out.
I think, like, Jack, we've just been to Amsterdam, haven't we? I think it'd be hard if something like that came up. And that, let's be honest, like, you're going to Amsterdam with the lads, it's a drinking holiday, innit? It just is what it is.
But this kind of comes back down to like a good topic, like kind of what we were speaking about before, and I've spoken about with a couple of lads over here and stuff. Like, for me personally, like, you can, like, how many times have we been on holiday? Like we spoke about, we was going to do Marbella, for example. Like, we've got so many, like there's so many things you can do. The same as you're saying, like it's just such a tradition to go in Hull and drink every weekend.
Well, for us three, us three could go on like an holiday. You could go to Thailand, for example, and do like one of the fitness camp type things. We'd really enjoy that, but you know, you've got to understand, like, some people that would not interest them all. The class that as like a chore. Like, some people don't enjoy training. They do it because they have to, and they don't really like it, do they? Do you know what I mean? Like,
and that's like fair enough. But like you said, this is what I'm saying. You can realistically, you can still travel. You can still do all the things you're saying, but it doesn't have to be revolved around drink. Like the second you go on holiday, or the second you look at booking a trip, the first thing you think about is like, so we're going to revolve this around drinks. What pubs?
English,
it's just
like,
another English mindset
behaviour.
again.
Go and find out. Like, go abroad and spend your full time abroad in Irish bars. Yeah,
like there's ways of like kind of.
You always end up doing it, don't you? It's just
so you can book holidays and you can look at doing certain activities. Like you say, we were saying before, you could. If we was to say, for example, book a hiking trip, how many hikes? Like we've done quite a lot of hikes with a lot of our mates as well. If we was to book a trip into the mountains, I'm sure a lot of the lads would still enjoy that as well.
Yeah.
And again, if you do go on a hiking trip, you can go to pubs. You know what I mean? But because you're in that place where it's not always revolved around drink, I don't feel you'd feel so pressured into drinking as much as if you went to maybe Amsterdam, or if you went to a certain place where it's only drink. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's good, like, one way to think about it. Do you know what I mean? Definitely next year, I'd like to, try anyway, to most probably look at doing a trip which is revolved around doing a hike or
Yeah. Well, I want to go
doing
to that,
something
what you were
different.
saying,
What's
what
not
Dan, is that place in,
drinking.
is it Marbella where like it's like a
Again,
like
yeah,
an
like you
assault
could go in
course thing or
yeah,
something?
Yeah, the
I think
Hardy
it's
you could go in-
Marbella
course.
anyway. I
Yeah.
won't mind doing that, mate. I tell you what, I woke up in the middle of the night last
coming
night. I
back.
was literally
I'm
like
coming back in a
dripping
minute.
with sweat. I tell you what, Reese, I was fucked after that last night. I was like proper
What's that?
shivering like mad after that run.
Yeah.
Proper shivering, but then woke up in the middle of the night and I was like sweating like mad.
You've most probably like
And mate, do you
your
know my
body
resting
goes,
heart
like-
rate was at 90 yesterday. I've been sat down, laid down on the sofa on the sofa when I got back for like I'd say like 2 hours. My resting heart rate was at 90. Like,
Jesus
that's
Christ,
not good,
like-
is it? I was actually panicking a bit. Like,
you've pushed your body, like realistically when you think about it, I was thinking, 50 mile, like fuck, like, and then I was thinking, no, hang on a minute, like you're only 20 kilometers. No, actually, no, you're still only halfway there. It puts you into a bit of a mad situation to think, do you know that, for like Nick Bear, for example, like 100 miler.
yeah, mate, I
race.
watched that when I got back and I was
And
thinking,
you
like,
think to yourself,
what
like,
the fuck?
it's
Like,
mental, like.
It's insane, isn't it? And like,
That
the
is,
mad
like-
thing is, like, he did that. It was like last man standing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, so basically, like, he said on that, like, if you don't, unless you win it, your class is like a DNF. Like,
What's
there's
that?
only one winner. Like that race he did, last man standing. There's only one winner. Everywhere else, like, your class is like you didn't finish. Unless
That's
you win.
mental.
So, like, you've done all that to get a DNF. Like, you ran 100 mile and got a DNF. Like, I
That's
wonder on
just
that.
like-
I don't think he actually said on the video, but I wonder who actually won it. I wonder how far they ran.
Like, there's some, I don't even know. Like, it's watching, like, when you put into perspective, like, David Goggins, for example, some of the things he does, like it's on another level. Like, that's
Yeah.
not, like, really, it comes down to not even fitness by that stage anymore. It comes down to just general,
it's just
like, mind
Blocking
over
out
matter.
pain.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah, it's like,
it's just mad, innit?
we just finished another one there of finishing the Tour de France documentary. Again,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
just watching that and you think to yourself, like, these blokes are just absolutely mental.
Thing
Like,
is, I think as well, it is like, the more you do stuff like that, you do, because you know you've done it before, you think, right, I can go a little bit further this time. Like, do you know, like, yesterday, we was comparing it to, like, the Ironman.
Right.
And saying, like, how did I feel at this point on, like starting the marathon on the Ironman? How did you feel before you started that? And we was like, right, well, I felt similar to this. We've got that amount left, so I know I can do it, type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's too repetitive of a movement, though. Mate, I'm like not well today, mate, because yesterday, all of it, about 6 gels, five gels and 5 fucking chocolate bars. You know what I mean? And a couple of croissants. Like,
Yeah.
it's not healthy, is it, mate?
Yeah, I want to eat some healthy food today.
I'm going to get on the smoothies and that, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, to be honest, what about all this talk about alcohol's making me want a beer? I might just get pissed today.
Mate, that wine last night, this bottle of wine we've got, I think Nicole got it or someone, I don't know where it came from, but it's absolutely sick, mate. It's proper nice. Hey, what was we talking about? Not drinking?
Not drinking, but
No.
what is drink a choice then?
The funniest thing, we never used to just randomly drink that, but recently we've been like, because we got loads of wine for my birthday, I think Nicole got one off work or something like that. Like,
I think it like comes to
decent.
Christmas
It's
time as well.
good
Like,
gear, mate.
you enjoy a couple of drinks. Like, you don't, like, again, it
Treat
comes down to,
yourself.
like, we're
Treat
saying,
yourself,
like,
innit, mate?
you can treat yourself. Like, last night, personally, I wouldn't have drank usually, like, but we had some friends around there, brought a bottle of wine or whatever, so Jess opened up a bottle of Prosecco, so I kind of felt a little bit left out, so I had a couple of glasses of Prosecco, like, do you know what I mean?
Nice, man.
Not even something I'd
You
drink.
naughty,
like,
naughty boy.
I know.
Nice.
I had my juice next to me, like,
My
but-
juice.
Juice
but no, it's good. Like, I'd say just like a last question here, just like most probably end the topic off. If you was to drink, like, when we say this, like, you could go into the sense of, like, what would you drink? And, like, there's a ways around being able to
Whiskey
drink
fucking
with.
sours, baby. That's what we'd be
You
having,
can
mate.
drink without, like, affecting your diet to an extent as well. Like, you can
Spirits,
go.
innit? Like, spirits.
Yeah, so if you're
Diet.
stuck around
Whiskey.
spirits.
Ginger ale. Boom.
whiskey ginger ale,
Sharpen
the
up.
likes of your vodka,
Sharpen up between the ears.
slimline tonic, and stuff like that. That's kind of like, if you was to go down that route, like, don't get me wrong, you still, if depending on how strict your diet is, if you was in a serious cut, for example, you would need to like stick to a couple and account for them calories further down the line.
Last 4 weeks of your diet, you're not going to be drinking, are you? Like, you're going to knock it on the edge, more or less.
You're trying at least last 4 weeks, but in between part of that, you can, if you was on, for example, 3,000 calories, you can most be allow for maybe 400-500 calories within that, and have some vodka slimline tonics and something, because there's still calories within vodka, like, so instead of drinking beer. But again, I wouldn't recommend drinking beer, but
beer just fucks you if you diet.
If you was to go for a light beer, like, you could have one. I wouldn't recommend.
It tastes like shit though.
Yeah, I'd say
it tastes like fucking ass, not the nice kind.
A vodka, or again, tequila is always a good option for.
We love tequila. My dad just got me a new bottle of tequila for my birthday, actually.
But it's like whiskey sours, for example. Like, you think, oh, they're amazing, like, but there's that much sugar in them.
Oh, I know,
Cocktails
that's different. I will go to drink, like, on holiday. If you're at Ocean Beach, mate, a whiskey sour is going to go down well in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, I think that should wrap up this. We've gone into again, like, then? I think we say this every time we finish the podcast.
I've got about 10%.
To be honest, like, I don't feel right today. Like,
no,
I don't really feel myself.
Dan went on a couple of tangents there. We let him get some things off his chest. I feel like he feels better for it.
Extremely tired. I know I'm tired. My watch is literally just told me I need to rest. It said I've not actually recovered enough. I didn't sleep enough.
When do we ever listen to the watches? Like, so.
Yeah, man.
Nah. Well, that is the first. I've actually had an actual warning on my watch. I've never seen that before.
I think if my watch took it way too far. It would jump off my wrist and run off if it could, mate. He's sick of me.
Yeah, I think that's
great.
Me signing out.
I'll end that podcast there. We'll sign out, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Peace
Peace out.